Hey you guys, today I'm going to be doing a winter glam makeup tutorial. This is a look that I wore a ton during the month of December. I absolutely loved it. It's very, very quick and easy to do, but it looks like you spent hours on your makeup. Before I get started though, I want to let you guys know I've been very, very sick. That's why I missed a Sunday upload. On Friday, I started coming down and getting really, really sick. By Saturday, I had developed a sinus infection, bronchitis, and what else? Potential strep throat, actually. So I had a whole bunch, like 3 different infections raging in my body at the same time. Yay. They put me on heavy antibiotics, an inhaler, all kinds of stuff. I'm doing better today. It's Wednesday as I'm filming this, and I am feeling a little bit better. Enough to be able to sit in front of the camera and talk. However, if you notice me having trouble breathing, pausing a lot of jump cuts, I might go into a coughing fit, things like that. That is why I'm definitely not 100%. You can tell by how freaking pale I am. I'm not getting as much oxygen as normal. So that's where I'm at. I'm not doing great right now. I'm doing better. I'm still not doing great, but I wanted to get this filmed for you guys. My hair is not cooperating as usual, so I am going to go ahead and throw my brows on real quick. You guys know I do them the same way every time with the Anastasia Dip Brow and Taupe, and I'll be right back. It is an amazing difference when you can actually see that I have eyebrows. Today for this look, I'm using the Smashbox Full Exposure palette. This is an older palette that has mixed reviews. Some people love it, some people hate it. I picked this up probably pretty early in December, and I actually love this palette. I think it is excellent. So I've mentioned why several times in other videos, so I am going to just kind of jump right into the look. But I did want to say that you can use any neutral palette for this. Just make sure it has good matte and good sparkly shadows. And I'm going to be sticking with the brown, more, not really warm, these are very neutral toned browns on this side of the palette. So first I'm going to prime my eyes. I'm using the Smashbox 24-hour Faux Finish Primer. I like this one. It's super crazy thick, but it works really well. I apologize again if I'm not talking a whole lot. The more I talk, the less I can breathe. Right, so I'm grabbing a Sigma Tapered E40 blending brush, and I'm going in with this white shade right here, and I'm just tapping this right underneath my brow bone. This is going to help cover up some of the redness I have right now from plucking my eyebrows, because I did my eyebrows. And then I am grabbing a Morphe M330 brush. I freaking love this brush. I think it is fantastic. The majority of this look will actually be done with this and the Morphe M506, this little tiny one. So I'm going into this shade right here. It's just a nice pale, I wouldn't say taupe. It's kind of a peachy shade, but not really peachy. You know what I mean. And I'm just blending this into the crease. Now, you can tone this look up or down quite a bit by how much you layer the shadows. So the more glam you want the look, add more layers of shadow. The more wearable you want the look, just go lighter. These aren't super, super highly pigmented, which actually is part of the reason why I love them, is because they're buildable. I love highly pigmented shadows, but they can be very hard to work with. And especially for smoky party type looks or anything dramatic that's not like colored, like anything that's a neutral dramatic, it's really helpful to use buildable shadows. So I got that in the crease. Now I'm going into this next color, which is a deeper tan shade. I'm taking that on the outer half of my lid and blending that into the crease as well. I'm just winging that out ever so slightly. Now I'm going to switch to the smaller brush, and I'm going into this really pretty dark brown. This is a beautiful, beautiful brown. tap off my brush. I'm taking my brush and I'm going to lay it at an angle on my eye. What this does, and just wiggle it back and forth a little bit, what this does is it gives you that wing shape, which can be very, very difficult, especially if you have hooded eyes, to get just by going in and straight blending. So, and then I go from there and start blending it out. I'm taking it into the eye and just softly blending those edges. I'm going to add a little bit more and just keep deepening that up. And you're only doing this on about the outer third of the eye. Now, if you want to take this a little bit more dramatic as well, you can just very lightly tap into that black. And just right on that outer corner again, just add in a tiny, tiny smidge of black. All this does is just adds one more layer of depth to that outer corner. You can also go in with a darker brown, like an even darker brown if you happen to have one. Okay, so the rest of the top lid look goes really, really fast, and I do it with my fingers. So what I do is I take this darkest shade on my ring finger. These are all shimmer shadows, they're really pretty, and I place it just right on the outer edge of my iris, like right there. And just pull it in just a tiny bit. Wipe off your finger. And then I go in with this really pretty gold shimmer shade. This is just gorgeous. And this goes right above my pupil in the center. Now, if you want these shadows more metallic rather than just shimmer, go ahead and cut out your crease with the concealer, or you can slightly dampen your finger with a bit of setting spray or something like that before you pick up the shadows. Can you see I'm just moving inwards? You can do the exact same with this side or with any similarly styled palette. So now I'm going into this brighter champagne tone. And I bring this on the inner corner, or the inner third, I should say. It's not on the inner corner, it's on the inner third. You can see how all those shades of shimmer start blending together. Now I'm going to take a thin liner brush, a flat liner brush I prefer, and I'm going in with the black. And I'm just going to wiggle this along my lash line for about the outer half of my eye. Now you can do a winged liner here if you prefer. It's up to you how dramatic you want to get with this. You can do winged liner, you can do lashes, you can take this super, super dramatic, or if you want to keep it simpler, easier, faster, just go ahead and use the shadow as a liner. So I'm going to go ahead and curl my lashes real quick. And for mascara today, I'm using this one that I've been trying out. This is the L'Oreal Unlimited mascara. The first time I tried this, it flaked on me, but every other time I've used it since, it hasn't flaked, and I've actually really, really liked it. The wand's really nice. It's just a really good mascara. All right, let's move on to foundation. And actually, let me put on a headband so I don't get my hair caught and everything. All right, so I'm going to start by using the Too Faced Hangover Primer. I've been trying this lately because I got a little sample in a Sephora Play Box, and I actually really like it, though it looks exactly like school glue. Doesn't smell, well, it smells a little funny, but it doesn't smell like school glue, thankfully. I've been having a lot more breakouts lately. I have a ton on my lower cheeks. And I actually looked up a face chart, and apparently getting breakouts like here on your lower cheeks are actually indicative of lung issues. I get bronchitis, and at the same time I get breakouts where I have lung issues. Well, that adds up. I have my face primed, and today I'm using more of a heavier full coverage foundation. I've been using a lot of lighter medium coverage foundations lately, but today I kind of need all the help I can get. So I'm using my Maybelline Super Stay Full Coverage 24-Hour Foundation, and I'm using the shade 112 Natural Ivory. And I'm just going to pop some on the back of my hand because I want to have more control, and I'm using the Giant Beauty Blender. I just want to be able to control better how much coverage I get. Oh, look how good that does. I swear this stuff is so good. Now, I'm not going to lie, you guys, I'm totally caking it on today because my skin needs all the help it can get. And my skin in general starts looking really rough when I'm sick. I've got major dry skin under my nose, breakouts on my cheeks. It's like my skin is not happy. The good news is that for some of the breakouts, the antibiotics I'm on will actually help my skin a little bit, because being on the antibiotics does help with bacterial breakouts. I would not ever take antibiotics just for that purpose. I think that's a very, very, very bad idea. However, when you have to be on antibiotics for something that you actually need them for, then sometimes it's a nice little bonus to have clear skin. Okay, wow, the shade is still too light for me. What the heck? All right, so this shade is still like crazy light for me. It matches my neck a little bit, but it still looks a little rough when you're up close. But I'm going to go in with concealer. I'm using the Maybelline Master Conceal. The good news is that cover my breakouts enough that I don't have to use concealer on those, which is excellent. And the nice thing about this concealer and foundation is I don't need to set them at all, so they're just going to kind of chill. I'm going to give them a few minutes to dry down before I do bronzer, which apparently I definitely need, and blush and everything. So let's go back to the eyes. I'm just taking a flat little detailer brush and going back in with kind of that medium taupey shade, and running this all the way under my eyes. And then taking a teensy bit of the darker brown just on the outer corner. Now I'm just grabbing a small detail brush, and I'm going in with this middle shade, which is a beautiful highlight shade. And just touching right underneath the brow bone and on the inner corner. Now, of course, you can take the shimmer shades onto the lower eyelid if you want. That is up to you. It can look really, really pretty. In fact, why don't I just grab a little bit of the champagne shade and bring that under that first third of the lower eyelid. It just adds a really pretty sparkle to your eyes. I love using sparkle on the lower lash line, sparkle, glitter, whatever, because I think it's so beautiful and it really draws attention to your eyes. So our eyes are done. Now you can take this another step farther. You can line your waterline with either a nude or a dark brown if you want. You can line your tight line if you want to. I'm not going to, because honestly this is fairly dramatic on its own, especially if you add a pair of lashes. But you guys, to be honest, I had planned on adding lashes to this. In fact, I had the Vegas Nay Grand Glamour lashes sitting right here because these are what I would pair with this look because they are beautiful. I just don't have it in me today. Honestly, I've only been filming for about half an hour right now, and I feel like just falling on the floor. Like I do not do well when I cannot breathe. So I am going to move on and finish up this look real quick. So for bronzer, I'm using my Too Faced Chocolate Soleil, also known as the bronzer that never freaking dies, because this one has lasted me forever. I'm using this cute little Wet n Wild brush that I like. And I'm just very lightly bronzing up my face a little bit, because putting foundation on top of already too pale skin when the foundation is too light, just I'm full on looking ghosty over here. All right, so I look about 10 times healthier already. And for blush, I'm going in with a Tarte Clay blush in Entertain. This is one of my favorites. I had this teeny tiny little sample of it, and I've already hit pan on it, but I'm using this until it is like gone, because it's such a gorgeous pink. And I am, of course, going in with a highlight. I am using the Laura Geller Baked Gelato Swirl Illuminator. That is a mouthful, in the shade Gilded Honey. I always like going for warmer highlighters when I don't feel well, because anything that adds a bit of color and vibrance to your face is a good thing. And we're going to finish this up with the lips. I'm using my favorite lip liner right now. This is the Kylie Jenner Candy K lip liner. Alright guys, and here is the finished look. It probably only took me about, not including like filming and cough breaks and all of that, probably only took me about 20 minutes to do this look, which is super, super fast. It's super easy. It's really pretty. I'd add on an extra 10 minutes if you want to do winged liner and lashes and do some tight lining and things like that. That is totally up to you. I personally found that sometimes when I add too much to a look, it can just be too much. So this has been my go-to glam look for winter, and it is definitely winter outside. It's super duper cold. It's like 22 degrees out today, and I think later this week we're supposed to get down in the single digits. So I'm majorly not looking forward to that. I am going to go and make some hot tea and give my poor, poor, sad, very, very mad at me voice a rest. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet, please make sure to subscribe to my channel. You can also keep up with me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. All the links for those are down below. And I also love to hear from you guys in the comments. Thank you all so, so much for watching, and I'll see you again very, very soon. Bye.